1. The Little Mermaid, a tale of soul-searching sacrifice. Disney's The Little Mermaid is all about Ariel, a dreamy mermaid, trading her voice for legs to win Prince Eric's heart. It's got catchy tunes, a sassy sea witch, and a wedding on a boat. But Hans Christian Andersen's 1837 original, it's a gut-wrenching tragedy. That'll leave you reaching for tissues, and maybe a therapist. The mermaid's not just chasing love, she's desperate for a human soul. In her world, mermaids live for centuries, but when they die, they dissolve into sea foam. No afterlife, no nothing. Humans, though, they get eternal souls, and she wants in. To get one, a human must love her, binding his soul to hers. After saving a prince and falling hard, she visits the sea witch. The price, her tongue, sliced off, and every step on land feels like walking on knives, with bleeding feet to prove it. Oh, and if the prince marries someone else, she'll turn to foam. The morning after his wedding, she drinks the witch's potion, and it's like a sword, ripping through her body. The prince takes her in, loves her dancing, despite her agony, but marries another woman, thinking she saved him. Her sisters offer a dagger, kill the prince, let his blood drip on her feet, and she can return to the sea. But she can't do it, so she leaps into the ocean, dissolving into foam. Andersen throws in a twist. She becomes a daughter of the air, earning a soul, if she does good deeds, for 300 years. Talk about a long-term commitment for a fairy tale crush. 2. Pinocchio, the puppet who paid for his sins. Disney's Pinocchio is a heartwarming tale of a wooden puppet, learning to be honest, brave, and real, with Jiminy Cricket as his chirpy conscience. But Carlo Collodi's 1883 original, The Adventures of Pinocchio, is like a cautionary tale written by a fed-up parent. This Pinocchio isn't just naughty. He's a straight-up delinquent who'd give any babysitter a nervous breakdown. From the moment Geppetto carves him, Pinocchio mocks his creator, steals, lies, and smashes a talking cricket with a hammer for giving advice. Geppetto teaches him to walk, and Pinocchio bolts, getting Geppetto arrested for mistreating him. When Geppetto's freed, he sells his coat to buy Pinocchio a school book. Does Pinocchio study? Nope. He sells the book for a puppet show ticket and nearly gets burned alive. Later, he's almost fried in a pan by a hungry puppeteer. His worst choice, falling in with the fox and the cat, two crooks who lure him into the woods, bind his arms, and hang him from a tree. Pinocchio's dead. Roll credits. Except Collodi's readers demanded more, so his publisher forced a sequel. The Blue Fairy saves Pinocchio, but his troubles continue. He's turned into a donkey, nearly drowns, and gets swallowed by a giant fish. Eventually, he learns, sacrifices, and becomes a real boy. Moral of the story: don't be a wooden-headed jerk, or you might end up as kindling. 3. Snow White, a feast of vengeance. Disney's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs is a classic, with a jealous queen, a poisoned apple, and a prince's kiss to save the day. But the Brothers Grimm's 1812 version adds a side of torture and cannibalism to the menu. The queen isn't just vain. She's a straight-up monster. When her magic mirror declares Snow White the fairest, she orders the huntsman to carve out Snow White's lungs and liver and serve them for dinner. Talk about a diet nobody asked for. The huntsman spares Snow White, who finds refuge with the dwarfs. But the queen doesn't stop at one attempt. First, she laces Snow White's corset so tight she suffocates until the dwarfs cut her free. Next, a poisoned comb knocks her out, but the dwarfs save her again. Then, the infamous apple puts Snow White in a coma. Forget the prince's kiss. In the grim tale, he's obsessed with her dead body and hauls her glass coffin everywhere. A fed-up servant smacks her back, dislodging the apple, and she wakes up, confused, but alive. At their wedding, the queen shows up to kill Snow White one last time. The prince has had enough and forces her to dance in red-hot iron shoes until she drops dead. Snow White's happily ever after comes with a side of roasted revenge. 4. Sleeping Beauty, a creepy awakening. Disney's Sleeping Beauty is all about Aurora, cursed to sleep for 100 years, until a prince's kiss breaks the spell. The evil fairy's defeated, and everyone dances into the sunset. The Brothers Grimm's Briar Rose is pretty close, with a spindle, a long nap, and a prince to the rescue. But dig deeper, and you'll find the 1634 Italian tale, Sun, Moon, and Talia, by Giambattista Basile, and it's a whole lot darker and weirder. In this version, Talia's doomed by a flax splinter, foretold by astrologers. Her dad bans all flax, but a peddler woman spins some right outside the castle. Talia, curious, touches the spindle, gets a splinter, and drops dead. Heartbroken, her father abandons her body in a distant palace. Enter a king who finds her, and instead of waking her, takes advantage while she's unconscious. 9 months later, Talia gives birth to twins, Sun and Moon, still dead. One baby sucks the splinter from her finger, and she wakes up, confused, but oddly chill about her kids. The king returns, explains his, let's call it, creepy visit, and they become friends. His wife finds out and tries to cook the twins for dinner, but the cook swaps them for lamb. The queen then tries to burn Talia alive, but the king saves her and torches his wife instead. Talia and the king marry, and the cook gets a promotion. This fairy tale is less bibbidi-bobbidi-boo and more, what did I just read? 5. The Hunchback of Notre-Dame. No happy ending. Here, Disney's The Hunchback of Notre-Dame is dark but hopeful, with Quasimodo triumphing over cruelty and justice prevailing. Victor Hugo's 1831 novel, Notre-Dame de Paris, offers no such comfort, just a heap of heartbreak and tragedy. Quasimodo, a deformed, half-blind bell ringer, is raised by the obsessive Archdeacon Claude Frollo, who's consumed with lust for Esmeralda, a Roma dancer. When she rejects Frollo, he tries to have her executed. Quasimodo loves her too, but to Esmeralda, he's just a friend. Her heart's with Phoebus, a sleazy soldier who toys with her. Frollo, in a jealous rage, stabs Phoebus, and Esmeralda's blamed, tortured, and sentenced to death. Quasimodo rescues her, hiding her in the cathedral, under sanctuary. But Frollo breaks in, tries to assault her, and traps her with a nun who's actually Esmeralda's long-lost mother. Their joyful reunion is cut short. When the king's men arrive, the mother dies, protecting Esmeralda, who's then hanged. Heartbroken, Quasimodo pushes Frollo off the cathedral to his death. With nothing left, Quasimodo vanishes. Years later, two skeletons are found, locked in an embrace, crumbling to dust when separated. Disney gave us hope. Hugo gave us a punch to the soul. 6. Tarzan, a savage. Start Disney's Tarzan is a jungle adventure with a boy raised by apes, finding love and his place in the wild. Edgar Rice Burroughs' 1912 novel, Tarzan of the Apes, is brutal, tragic, and not exactly Phil Collins friendly. Tarzan's parents, aristocratic John and Alice Clayton, are marooned on Africa's coast. Alice dies of insanity, and John's killed by Kerchak, a bloodthirsty ape. Kala, a grieving she-ape, saves baby Tarzan, naming him White Ape. Tarzan grows up, an outcast, fighting for survival. He finds his parents' cabin, teaches himself to read, and realizes he's human, which makes him feel superior to the apes. When a hunter kills Kala, Tarzan hunts the tribe, stealing weapons and killing for sport. He later kills his foster father Tublat and Kerchak, becoming king of the apes. Jane arrives, marooned with her father and Tarzan's cousin, William Clayton. He saves her, and they fall in love. But when she returns to America, Tarzan follows, only to find civilization doesn't suit him. Jane accepts Clayton's proposal. Just as Tarzan learns, he's the true lord of the estate. He stays silent, letting Jane go, and walks away from love and his inheritance. Tarzan's no hero. He's a savage with a broken heart. 7. Hercules, a mythic mess. Disney's Hercules is a fun romp with a baby god raised on Earth, battling Hades and winning Meg's heart. The Greek myth of Heracles is a saga of madness, murder, and misery. First off, his name's Heracles, meaning glory of Hera, which is ironic, since Hera, Zeus's wife, despises him for being her husband's love child. As a baby, she sends snakes to kill him, but he strangles them with his tiny hands. As an adult, Hera drives Heracles mad, causing him to slaughter his wife Megara and their children. Devastated, he seeks redemption through the 12 labors, grueling tasks like slaying the Nemean lion, battling the Hydra, cleaning the Augean stables, and capturing Cerberus, the underworld's 3-headed dog. Each labor is a brutal test of endurance and willpower. Later, his new wife, Deianira, accidentally poisons him with a tunic soaked in Hydra blood, thinking it's a love charm. The pain's so intense, Heracles builds a funeral pyre and burns himself alive. His divine half ascends to Olympus, but not before a lifetime of suffering. Disney's Hercules got a glow up. The myths kept it raw. 8. Cinderella, a bloody slipper saga. Disney's Cinderella is pure magic, with glass slippers, talking mice, and a fairy godmother. Charles Perrault's 1697 French version is close, but the Brothers Grimm's 1812 Aschenputtel cranks up the gore. There's no fairy godmother, just a tree on Cinderella's mother's grave, where doves grant wishes, dropping silver and gold dresses. Her father's alive, but useless, watching her stepmother turn her into a servant. When a 3-day ball is announced, her stepsisters mock her, saying she can go if she sorts lentils from ashes twice. The doves help her, and she dazzles the prince at the ball. On the third night, he coats the stairs with tar, trapping her golden slipper. The prince, apparently face-blind, tries the slipper on the stepsisters. One cuts off her toes, the other her heel, but the doves snitch about the blood. Cinderella's slipper fits, and she's crowned princess. At the wedding, the stepsisters try to cozy up, but the doves peck out, one eye each, as a warning. They don't back off, so the birds blind them completely. Cinderella's not just sweet, she's got winged enforcers, dishing out justice. And there you have it, 8 Disney classics with origins darker than a stormy night. From mermaids dissolving into foam to heroes burning alive. These tales remind us fairy tales weren't always for kids. Which story shocked you most? Is Disney better for sanitizing them? Or did the originals pack more punch? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's unpack this twisted fairy tale magic. If this dive into Disney's dark side hooked you, smash that thumbs up, share with your fairy tale fan friends, and subscribe for more epic breakdowns. Until next time, stay curious, keep dreaming, and maybe check under the bed for sea witches. Peace out.
Thanks for watching this video. If you like this video, drop a comment below. And please like, share, and subscribe my channel.